Is Jungkook secretly preparing for a massive comeback? What did Army see that made everyone scream in disbelief? This jaw-dropping studio sighting changes everything. Read until the end and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if your heart is racing too. The question hanging in the air is no longer if, but when. The world shook when a faint but clear image of Jungkook walking into a recording studio began circulating online. No official statement. No flashy announcement. Just him, hood up, expression unreadable, and eyes focused straight ahead. And just like that, the internet broke. Was this the sign Army has been breathlessly waiting for? Is the golden maknae finally returning with a thunderous comeback that could redefine the entire K-pop landscape? It didn't take long before millions of fans began piecing together the clues. The studio door, the timestamp on the image, the bracelet Jungkook wore, a silver one he's only been seen wearing during his most emotional recording sessions. It wasn't just a coincidence. It wasn't just a rumor. Something real, something colossal was in motion. But what is it? And how soon is it coming? Army around the world erupted with theories. Some pointed to a barely audible snippet caught by a lucky bystander. Soft harmonies, layered with Jungkook's unmistakable voice. Others recalled a cryptic emoji he posted weeks ago, one that now suddenly makes sense. A microphone, a spark, and a globe. Could that have been his quiet declaration to the world? That something is coming, and it's going to be bigger than anyone imagined. The more you look, the more the pieces start to fall into place. Jungkook's disappearance from social media, his long silences during fan events, the way his eyes welled up during his last live stream, all of it begins to form a timeline. A pattern, an emotional preparation for something that would demand his all, something he's been pouring his soul into behind closed doors. What if the comeback isn't just a song or an album? What if it's a full-scale return to the stage, with visuals, emotions, stories, and pain that he's kept hidden since BTS's group activities paused? What if Jungkook is building a universe through music, one note at a time, ready to explode and reach every broken heart that has missed him? There's one moment everyone keeps talking about. Just hours after the studio's sighting, a black car was seen pulling up to the same building. The window lowered slightly, and someone inside handed a staff member a sealed case, labeled only with a golden J. A decoy? A subtle confirmation? No one knows. But the timing was too perfect and the excitement too deafening to ignore. Social media has become a fever dream. He's coming, tweets one fan, tears in her eyes. I feel it in my bones, writes another. And perhaps, so does the rest of the world. Every little gesture, every slight change in Jungkook's schedule feels like a drumbeat building toward a monumental drop. A crescendo that's almost too massive to grasp. Some fans are convinced it will be a global anthem. Others whisper of a hidden documentary film to accompany the music. But nearly everyone agrees, whatever it is, it will be his rawest work yet. He's not just singing anymore. He's telling a story, reliving memories, rebuilding his wings right before our eyes. Will this be the moment we see the real Jungkook, the one behind the spotlight, the one who's carried the weight of a generation? Still, the mystery deepens. Why hasn't HYBE released any statements? Why is everything so secretive? Could it be that Jungkook is choosing this path alone, crafting every detail himself? Could this be his rebellion, his love letter, his farewell, or maybe, just maybe, his rebirth? A hidden camera caught him walking out of the studio 6 hours later. His hair slightly tousled, his face glistening with sweat. But he was smiling, a smile so soft, so pure, that it immediately sent fans into another spiral. He looked happy, one witness said. Peaceful, like someone who had just poured his heart into something beautiful. How do you describe that kind of silence? The quiet before a storm so loud, it changes the course of the music industry? That's the space we're in now, between hope and confirmation, between dreams and revelation. Jungkook hasn't said a word. He hasn't needed to. His presence has spoken volumes, and the echo is growing louder with every passing second. Some say the comeback will arrive before the summer ends. Others believe it's a surprise drop that could happen any day, any hour. The anticipation is electric, the uncertainty addictive. What if he performs live without prior notice? What if the first note comes in a way no one expects, hidden in a teaser, buried in a video game, etched into the sky by drones? The questions keep multiplying, and yet no one wants to stop asking. Because the truth is, ARMY lives for this magic. The chase, the clues, the chaos, it's all part of the journey. And Jungkook, with every heartbeat, leads them through it like a silent conductor guiding a grand symphony. Oh, here we are now, standing on the edge of something monumental. A breath held across continents, a scream waiting to be unleashed, a love song perhaps ready to bloom after a long, cold silence that, you feel it too? Then don't stay silent. Let the world hear your heartbeat. Leave your thoughts in the comments, scream your theories, flood the likes, and subscribe now. Because when Jungkook returns, it won't just be music. It will be history, and you won't want to miss a single second of it. And just when we thought the excitement had peaked, the airwaves trembled once again. In the early hours of the morning, a dimly lit photo surfaced, grainy but unmistakable. It was Jungkook, once more, entering the same studio, but this time not alone. Accompanying him was a figure draped in black, face obscured by a mask, yet clearly someone important. Theories exploded within seconds. Was it a producer? A fellow idol? A collaborator from overseas? The image was posted, deleted, and reposted 1,000 times within minutes. Something monumental was happening, and Jungkook wasn't doing it alone. What shook ARMY even more was the timing. Less than 24 hours after that first sighting, this second image emerged as if planned with meticulous precision. Fans began analyzing everything: the direction he walked, the drink he held, even the writing on his bag. Every detail felt like a coded message. And maybe Jungkook is speaking without words, just signs, shadows, and songs waiting to be unveiled. Then came the whisper, a short soundbite, accidentally leaked or intentionally planted, found its way into a fan account on a private platform. It was only 7 seconds long, yet it unleashed chaos. A haunting harmony, a thunderous bass line, and a voice. His voice. It wasn't just singing, it was storytelling, soul-crushing and powerful. It sounded like confession, or maybe a goodbye, or maybe both. Could this be the beginning of an entirely new chapter? The lyrics, although muffled, echoed something like "still chasing stars, even when they fall." The chills were instant, the emotions immediate. If this really is from the upcoming project, then we're not just about to receive an album. We're about to live through an emotional reckoning. Jungkook is going deeper than ever before, and he's pulling us in with him. As more unconfirmed studio sessions continued over the week, the theories turned wilder. Some fans swear they heard snippets in the background of a live video posted by another artist. Others are convinced that this comeback will span more than one language, possibly a mix of Korean, English, and even something completely new, marking Jungkook's transition from idol to full-fledged global artist. Still, he remains silent. Not a word, not a post. Just appearances, just whispers. And that silence is louder than any announcement. Meanwhile, the city around him seems to shift. Paparazzi stakeouts near the studio have doubled. Security seems tighter. Delivery drivers have been seen bringing in stacks of black cases marked only with serial codes. Music? Lighting? Stage equipment? No one can confirm. But one thing is certain: Jungkook is building something behind those walls. And it's not small. It's huge. And then it happened. ARMY, who were watching closely, noticed a dramatic change in Jungkook's body language during his last brief appearance. His head was held higher, his steps more decisive. There was a glint in his eyes that hadn't been seen in months. A fire, a spark, that familiar Jungkook energy, but with something heavier beneath the surface. He's not just preparing for a performance. He's preparing for a statement, an eruption, a resurrection,